What's up everybody, welcome back to Double T Gaming. Hope everyone is having a great day today. And on this day, just going to be a quick little update video for how Bronzebeard has been going for me personally, as well as my thoughts on the leveling process. But first, real quick, to all my haters out there who said it couldn't be done, and I would be a lot louder right now if my son and wife were not sleeping in the other room, but I hit level 60. Yep, I did it. And as agreed, everyone who doubted my abilities now owes me $100 each. So next time I'm on stream, be sure to cash that in. But not really. But if you want to, I mean, please do. But if you do follow me, you'll see that I haven't streamed in almost a week now. And that was mainly because I wanted to lock in and level as fast as I could. And while I stream, I'm not really focused on leveling efficiently. And also, I don't think a lot of people want to watch probably the slowest leveling Ascension content creator on YouTube right now. I have been deemed the voice of the average player because I'm not sweating the server at all. I was taking this as casually as I could, especially since there were no raids out. But as of November 1st, so hopefully the day you're seeing this, raids will be released in Zul'Gurub. So I definitely wanted to get to 60 and start running these things and doing actual endgame content now and dive into leveling challenges now. I was leveling so slow that people would come into my stream, just see what level I was and ask me, hey, are you doing a challenge with this paladin or are you actually only level 40? And I'll be like, no, I'm only level 40. And then they would just either make fun of me and leave or just be like, what are you doing? And then I have to explain to them that I suck and all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm 60 now. So all of that is over, you're welcome. But now let me share my thoughts on the normal leveling process for 1 to 60 on Bronzebeard. So my dash played was just about 72 hours, and of course this was with no heirlooms, mainly on high risk, and I did have that Halloween experience buff running at all times for the last 10 levels or so. So I did have a bit of an XP boost. So how can I describe the leveling in just one sentence? Well, I'd probably say that it was a fast-paced, Cataclysm style leveling experience in the original non-broken vanilla world. So basically I was playing Cataclysm, kind of almost like SOD really, in the version of vanilla prior to the Cataclysm, before the Sundering and the old world had changed. It was fast paced, it was satisfying to see big numbers, it was engaging, and it was fun. But with that being said, and I've said this before, if you're looking for a true vanilla experience, this server is not for you. And this is no knock on Bronzebeard because like I said, I did have a lot of fun. But again, if you want that slower, more methodical game style almost, where gear and loot truly matters, then you're probably looking for Turtle instead. Or you can try out what's left of Epoch, God rest their soul. But first let me talk about the positives of leveling. One, it was fast. Me personally, I don't have as much time to play WoW anymore due to some IRL responsibilities. So being able to jump in for even an hour and get half a level of experience real quick was super useful. Traveling speed was fast. I was able to blow through quests because of the overall player power. An hour of playtime on Bronzebeard and an hour of playtime on something like Turtle or Anniversary are two very different things. On Classic, you can spend an hour doing the same quest or just traveling back and forth from area to area. On Bronzebeard, there are so many ways to get around, you don't even need to worry about travel time. There's legit a transporter in Stormwind and Orgrimmar that can just drop you into several different high-level zones. Teleporters at the end of every dock so you don't have to wait for the boat. Bronzebeard is constant motion. The only time you're waiting for anything is if you're waiting on a respawn. Other than that, it is completely go, 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 which is a good thing and a bad thing for a lot of people. And so I totally get the folks who don't consider this to be classic at all. Honestly, I think the majority of people think that. But I always say that everyone's interpretation of Classic Plus is very different. Some people want a faster paced game, and some people want a slower paced game. Both are okay. Me personally, again, I found the faster pace more engaging for my short-ish attention span. There are times where I do get the itch to play a game style that is like Turtle or just like normal Classic, but I also get burnt out of that style gameplay very easily. With Bronzebeard, because the leveling process and overall speed was faster, it felt more rewarding of my time. And quick sidebar, I did my leveling journey with level scaling turned on. I know the level scaling is a big point of contention for a lot of people, and when I was level 45 in 1000 Needles leveling, I got some hate from people for even being there. Again, totally respect everyone's opinion, but for me personally, when I was in a weird level bracket, or I felt like I was getting ganked in high risk by higher levels in zones my level, which happened all the time by the way, that's when I would go back to a lower level zone and do quests I didn't do or just zones I didn't do, like the Shimmering Flats or some of Tannerus when I was already 50 plus. I wasn't to the point of being a level 55 out in Loch Madan, but I was level 59 doing the beginning quests of Western Plaguelands. It helped fill the gap and honestly probably boosted my leveling speed a bit knowing that I was in these green zones that I could blast through super quickly. And I know I could have gone even faster if I went prot as a paladin, but I was just having a lot of fun as red. So the leveling pace and the general overall nature of leveling for me was a fun experience. And of course, I met a ton of folks along the way who watched the channel or saw the stream and it made it that much better. So now the not so good parts of leveling are stuff that I probably could have done without. Now the very first thing you'll notice is that they throw a ton of loot at you on this server. From greens to blues to epics to mystic enchants that you don't need for other classes that will just take up your bag space unless you reroll them. I have 2 28 slot bags and a couple of 14s, and I constantly had full bag space, so I was constantly having to delete items in the open world while questing because I didn't have a vendor nearby. I feel like all this loot getting thrown at you, well, one, it kind of cheapens gearing while leveling. Like I barely equipped any quest rewards like at all because I either found a green or a world forged item that was just way better, but also kind of cheapens like money needs at all. Like there were times in Classic, especially in the beginning, where I wouldn't buy certain spells because I was running low on gold or I was saving on a mount. But because of the amount of loot you get, and also the fact that you get mounting for like nothing now, I felt like I was never worrying about money or needing to go to the auction house to upgrade anything. And that's just my personal opinion on it, but I would be okay if they lowered the loot drops a bit. I'm not the biggest fan of constantly being full on space. Next is the custom quests and content. To be 100% honest with you, in the zones I quested in, outside of a few niche spots like the new Ring of Blood style arena in STV, or the little additions in Ungrow or Winterspring for the higher level zones, I didn't really notice too much crazy custom content while leveling. Yes, there were like new little mini points of interest, but they didn't really have more than 1 or 2 quests associated with them. And yes, there were new little like mini spots or mini cool little areas in certain zones, usually pertaining to some world forged item or some mystic enchantment, but nothing that really blew me away. Now I did hear good things about Ashara, but I personally didn't even level there. The only high level zones I didn't go to were Silithus, Eastern Plaguelands, Ashara, and Blasted Lands, so I apologize if I am being ignorant, but all the other zones I touched, outside of a couple of new things per zone, it didn't really feel too like plus-ish to me. And I get the server is brand new and stuff is still in development, and of course the Ascension team, when they do develop something, it's very, very high quality, so all of this is very likely to change. But I'm saying just as of right now, on my first playthrough, it felt pretty normal, with the occasional new hint of something, kind of like SOD, I guess, but with just more quests. But I've also said this in previous videos, kind of pivoting to a different direction, I don't like dungeon scaling at all. I think it's weird being a level 59 and getting Scarlet Monastery like Graveyard, or even Dead Mines. The item scaling drops in there, to me, are weird as well. Like I've seen people say that you could turn item scaling off if you turn open world scaling off, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that doesn't apply to like dungeon drops, like at all. And that's my main complaint about it. Like I could just endlessly replace Smite's Hammer with another Smite's Hammer if I kept rolling Dead Mines while being an LFG at multiple different levels. Like I could do it at 15, 25, 35, all having different versions of the same weapon. I'll stand by that, I just don't like it. But anyway, I didn't want this video to be too long or ranty. This was just a quick summary of kind of my leveling thoughts. I'll probably do a 1 month kind of summary of Bronzebeard this coming week because we are about to hit that 1 month point. Bottom line, the 1 to 60 leveling experience on Bronzebeard was fun. It feels like you're playing like Cataclysm or MOP in the original vanilla world, and you're constantly in motion, which is fun for some and it isn't for others. Me personally, I didn't experience too much custom content, but I may have been looking in the wrong areas and subconsciously just following the same leveling path I take in vanilla every time I do level, and just dungeon scaling sucks. But even with that, with the addition of immersive drops and world forged items, and even unique encounters to get your mystic enchants, and yes, even the PvP encounters I found pretty fun despite being ganked most of the time, I still think it's worth a try for everyone to try and get as far as they can while leveling in Bronzebeard. I know it's not for everyone, but it was still a fun experience for me, and I'm looking forward to doing it again with heirlooms or jumping into some challenges now that I am at 60. But anyway, let me know what level you guys are at in Bronzebeard. If you are 60, how was that leveling experience for you? Was it fun? Was it custom? Did I just kind of miss the mark on this? Or are you having the same thoughts? But anyway, I am looking forward to diving into ZG and doing world boss kills now and getting into heroic and mythic dungeon runs. So I'm actually looking forward to doing endgame content now that I am 60, and hope you guys will join me for it. But thank you guys for watching. It's Double T Gaming. Real quick, I apologize for everyone who saw the video I put up this past Friday, which I have since removed. I thought it would be fun, but in retrospect, I don't want my channel to be about kind of like that stuff. So yeah, sorry about that. I missed the mark on that. My apologies. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Double T Gaming. I'll see you guys in the next video.